In this video, I'll show you how to easily blend two images using Luminosity Mask in Photoshop. This is the second tutorial in an introductory series on using Luminosity Mask. Let's get started. Hello, I'm Charles. Welcome to the channel. If you're into Photoshop, Lightroom, and photography, and even video editing, please consider subscribing and click the bell notification so that you're notified when we release brand new content every single week. Be sure to check the links in the description. I have a free Photoshop action download for you. This action will create luminosity masks for you so you don't have to recreate them every time you want to use them. So we're going to work with two different images today, two different exposures. The exposures that you choose to blend should cover the full range of light in a given scene. Let me give you an idea of what I mean. So here in this image, for me, the brightest exposure should contain information in the darker areas. So in this case, here the foreground has got a lot of information, and I'm kind of shooting into the light, so you're going to get this a lot. And so this is my other image. So while your darker exposure should contain information in the brightest areas, so I have a lot more information in the sky, but this is my darker image that I'm going to choose for my exposure blending. So now we need to decide which of these two images are going to be stacked on each other. Which one's going to be the base image and which one is going to be above that. So usually you work with your normally exposed image as the base layer to get the best results. And this could change, but let's start off this way. So I want both of these images in the same document. So I'm going to get this image here, and I'm going to use my move tool. That's V for the move tool. I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I am going to bring it into the other image. And right away you see that they're not aligned. So if I click shift and select them both, and if I come up here to edit and auto align layers, and right here where it says auto, I want that selected and click OK. And Photoshop has aligned those right on top of each other. Usually you do that because even though when I shot this it was on a tripod, there may have been some movement, and you don't want the layers to be a little off as far as being right on top of each other. And if you're not familiar with creating images with different exposures with your camera, let me know in the comments and I can create a video all about exposure bracketing using your camera. So let me know. So we were talking about deciding which layer is going to be the base layer and which layer is going to be the top layer. And so right now this is the darker layer, but I want this one up here, which has got more information in the foreground. I want that to be the base layer. And then what we're going to end up doing when we blend is I want this sky to come through, and I want to see that instead of the sky that looks like this. So that's what we're going for. So let's start off by creating a black layer mask on layer 0. Layer 0 up here is the layer that we're going to mask into. So I'm going to come down here to add layer mask icon, hold Alt or Option, and click my black layer mask. And I am going to disable that layer for right now. So now we need to create the luminosity mask. We're going to create that on the base layer, so I'll select that. And we're going to go in our channels panel. And I've already got my actions set up here, so I'm going to run that. But so if you've not downloaded the action to create the luminosity mask, it's in the link in the description. You can do that now, or if you know how to create them manually. So I'm going to come up here and create all luminosity masks, and there they are. So now we need to decide which one we're going to use, and I want to select the sky mostly, as much as possible. And every time I choose a different luminosity mask, see, this one looks pretty good because the majority of the sky is selected. So in my case, that's lights 3. And if I hold down the Command or Control and click on the lights 3 thumbnail, it has selected the brightest areas of the image for me. So now I can click on RGB, go back into my layers panel. I'm going to make this top layer visible and click on the layer mask. And I'm going to use my brush tool, B for the brush tool. I'm going to use a large brush, and I'm going to brush over my sky with a white brush here. You can see over here on the left, my foreground color is white, and I'm going to brush with white. And as I brush, you can see it coming in. And you can decide how much you want to keep brushing. Every time you brush over, I'm at 45% flow and 100% opacity. But this is how you bring in or blend the sky, which had some of the darker information as far as the clouds. And remember the layer below, the sky was really light and you didn't see all this detail. So you can keep on brushing until you see something you like. So now if I press Control or Command D, I've deselected that area. So just blending two images, that's the way you would do it very easily. And now you can treat this as one image. This layer 0 up here, you can treat it as one image. And just like in the first video, how I showed you that you can go back into your channels and choose other luminosity masks to work on other areas. So let's do that. Let's go further. So now we're going back into channels, and let's do something with the midtones. And I'm just going to choose something, say midtones 3, Command or Control, and I'm going to click on midtones 3. And now you can see I have my marching ants. Click on RGB, go back into my layer panel, and I have my selection. You can see all my marching ants in the midtones. And I'm going to use a curves adjustment layer this time. I'm going to add some contrast here in the midtones. That S curve just like that. And I'm going to change the blend mode of this adjustments layer to luminosity because I don't want there to be any effect in the color. So it's just going to affect the lightness of the image. And if you want to know more about using curves adjustment layer, I'll put a link in the description and a YouTube card above. And now if I want to go further, let's add a levels adjustment this time. And I want to borrow this mask on layer 0. That mask is selecting the brightest areas or the sky. If I hold down Alt or Option and click and drag up, it says replace layer mask, yes. And now I can change whatever I want about that layer mask in the midtones. I can see if I want some in the darker areas of the sky or brighten it up a little bit. And I'll also put a link in the description, and I can put a card above to give you more information about using the levels. But you can just vary it to add whatever kind of effect you want in the sky. You want a little bit of darkness, and just play with it there, and you can make it stand out. And you can keep on going with this image, but very easy to blend two images. And as I said, you will come across this when you're shooting like into the light. If you're getting value out of this tutorial, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want more Photoshop tutorials like this, see the ones on the screen. And remember, it's never too late to learn. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.